Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Wonderful. Let me know if something happens and you can't hear me. Welcome to New Thought Center of Hawaii here in Kealakekua. Welcome to everybody in the room, to those watching online. We're blessed to be here today in this beautiful location with all of you wonderful people. We're going to start as we usually do with a reading from Science of Mind. It will kind of put us in a place. Leah, if you'd be so kind.
Good morning, everyone, and aloha. This is from Science of Mind, and the title of this reading is A Deepening Faith. Not only is faith a way of knowing, a form of knowledge, but it is also one of life's great teachers. Faith teaches that God is. That was written by Howard Thurman from For the Inward Journey. The next quote is, faith is an attitude of mind accepted and no longer rejected. Written by Ernest Holmes. The Essential Ernest Holmes, page 159, if anyone's interested. How big is your faith? The best way to learn the answer to this question is to observe what happens when a difficulty or challenge shows up in your life. Do you worry and tell everyone who will listen about what has happened, seeking advice about what to do? Or do you take the time to process what is happening, go within, and discern what is being revealed in the situation? The answer need not be either or. Over time, I have found that I do less of the former and more of the latter. It can be challenging at times to stand in faith that everything is working together for good when good appears to be missing. When we are in the midst of challenging experiences, we can find our hearts broken open. These experiences deepen our faith that life is for us and not against us. All of us experience pain, loss, and grief at some point in our lives. But through faith, the remaining constant is that Spirit supports and sustains us. Life is to be experienced with all of its joys and sorrows. As we spiritually mature and our faith grows and deepens, we are able to navigate the vicissitudes of life with a faith that Spirit guards, guides, and protects us no matter what happens. That was written by Sheila Thomas. Affirmation's a nice short one today, but I will read it first and then we can read it together. My faith supports and sustains me no matter what the appearance. And together? My faith supports and sustains me no matter what the appearance.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Leah. It's so true. We meet a challenge in life. It's so easy to get in our head and go a little crazy. How can I figure this out? How can my mind, But, we're asking people, oh, what should I do? When really, we know that the answer, once we calm down, the answer is right inside. We don't need to really look anywhere else. So with that said, let's get out of our heads a little bit and do a little meditation, a little grounding, so that we're all present in the room. Put your feet on the floor, be comfortable, sit back. Take a couple deep breaths. And filling the lungs, filling the body with air. Big exhale. And a big breath in. And out, just get all the wiggles out. Calm the mind. Feel the feet bringing in the energy of the earth. Through the body, the blue sky's energy raining down on us. Being still, being in our hearts. Welcome everybody back into the room. Let's see. I think maybe to ease us down a little bit, Darby, could we have another song? Thank you for that beautiful song, Darby. I think it sets us in the right mood today. Our speaker who I'll be introducing in a little bit is Bibek Sharma, who we've seen his face around New Thought before. And so he'll be speaking on about the amazing experiences he's had in his life. And so welcome again to New Thought Center. I'm Cindy. I will be your facilitator this morning. A little bit about, I see possibly a couple new faces this morning. So a little bit about who we are here at New Thought Center. Our mission is to provide a sanctuary of aloha for the nourishment, development, and evolution of each individual's unique spiritual journey. The group evolved from the Kona Community Church of Religious Science, which was founded way back in 1971. And Sunday service has been continuously held since then, first in Keauhou and since 1999 here in Kealakekua. And thanks to the pandemic, we did get something out of it. We started online streaming, so now no matter where you are in the world, you can join us. Okay, let's see. Do we have any new people here this morning for the first time? Oh, I see one. Would you mind introducing yourself and maybe where you're from?
Aloha, my name's Adam. I'm from the wilds of Ka'u, Southlands.
Okay, well, we're glad you made it. And welcome. Anybody else here for the first time?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm from Chicago originally, but I've been Honolulu a lot.
Okay, great. Welcome. Okay, let's see. I think what we'll do next is we'll do our miracles and ordinaries. This is where you're free, welcome to come up and share any extraordinary or ordinary miracles that you've had happen recently. These can be something that, an experience you had that really challenged you, made you grow, made you inspired. You felt, wow, Source was really with me that time. Or something just kind of small, a coincidence, or anything that kind of moved you and stuck with you and made you think about and feel about for a little while. So if anybody has something to share, please come up to the mic, say your name, and share your experience. Please come on. Is this on? I'm not sure if this is on.
It is now.
Okay.
Aloha,
Hello.
Adam again. I'm working here in acupuncture in Darby's office and take the bus home sometimes to the south. And went to the bus stop, remembered that I didn't lock the bathroom door. I'm gonna miss the bus if I go back. There's going to be very small margin of catching the bus, and it's going to go. There's another bus like an hour later. So debate, trust, run back. It's raining. Close the door, get back to the road, and head. There's another bus stop kind of down the hill. I thought it would be quicker. Running along by the side of the road, and my buddy from Ka'u pulls over. Come on, hop in, get a ride. You know, just totally unexpected. And on the way back, we saw a rainbow without any clouds. There wasn't any clouds in the sky, and this incredible rainbow was just like guiding our way back. So that happened.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Adam.
Did you shut the door though?
I did.
Hello, I'm Alicia. Leohani. This has been a miracle week for me. For a while, my funds were pretty low, and there was just enough to eat, growing in my garden, and so on. And I just was so overwhelmed by all this abundance growing all around me and flowing through my life. And okay, one afternoon I was taking care of my 4-year-old neighbor, and we were having great fun when I see a lady walking outside her apartment calling my name. And on closer, coming out onto the lanai, I realized she's a friend of mine that I haven't seen in about half a year, in months and months, and we haven't been in touch. She's carrying this heavy box. And where do you live? Where do you live? Just over there. So she put it down. Well, already 3 other big, heavy boxes were standing full of groceries. I'm not such a big eater, but this was going to last me for weeks and months and so on. So I was in overwhelm anyway. Cut it short, in the evening, I asked the universe, what's all this about? What's all this about? It's for you. The answer came very clearly. It's for you to get practice in receiving. So I realized how important happy, grateful receiving is for us in every area. For the minute is just for the air we breathe, the daylight we take in, the moonlight. So I had my lesson in receiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a big lesson. Anyone else have something they'd like to share? Leah.
Thank you. I recently moved as of July 1st to a smaller location. And at that location, I'm in a studio apartment attached to a house. The lanai runs all the way across the front. And when I arrived, I realized, oh, there's lots of cats here. So my landlord, who's a very kind, beautiful person, had been feeding them. I don't know how long they've been there. 1 daddy cat, 1 mommy cat, and 5 kittens. So when I got to know them, they were scattered first. I'd come walking and they'd all hide. But I'm an animal lover, so they got over it really fast. And if you all cat people, Temptations, that you shake the box on the TV commercial and they come running, it's true. I have a puddle of cats in front of me now. Whenever I come out of my apartment, I'm tripping over them. So of course I fell in love with 2 of them, but I am trying to find homes for the rest. And a month ago, I took all 7, trapped them all, got them in carriers, and took them to a free clinic where they were all neutered, and only the female was the spay. So all of them are males. I'm keeping 2. There's 3 lovely kittens that need homes, and there's 2 adult cats that needs home. But the point is, 4 days ago, I walked outside. What I do is I shake the thing and I get them all huddled up and eating their treats. So when I go to my car, I'm sure there's no cats available to be in the way. Well, one of them followed me and I didn't know it. And when I backed up, I hear screech. Kitty screaming. Oh my God, my heart fell out. I pulled forward, I stopped the car, I got out, and I couldn't find a cat anywhere. So I didn't know which one of 7 it was. I was, I got this to do, I gotta go. So did my day and knew when I came home, possibly I'd be seeing something that I wouldn't necessarily enjoy. However, my favorite cat, the one that I named Pono, was laying on the pavement in the warm sun, and he was just laying there still. And I could see from his response, he wasn't doing really well. I was very concerned. Here's where my faith was challenged. I realize that now. I gently picked him up, tried to put him on his feet, and he just sat back on his haunches and flopped down again. So I lifted him carefully and took him to the lanai, Put him in front of the water, not interested. Put in front of food, not interested. I thought, oh no, maybe his hip girdle is crushed or something's not right. I could tell by the way he's moving. But he is still alive, his eyes were good. So I thought, I need to do what's right. I took him the next day to a vet and I paid for the euthanization because I thought it's just not right to keep an animal that's not happy, that's in pain. I can't tell. And then I asked the vet, how much would it be, just curious, to do x-rays to see what's going on inside? He said $450, and I went, starts at $450. I thought, oh, sorry, it's not in my budget. Here's the adjusted, he was very kind, he adjusted the fee for the euthanization. So I paid the fee, and they took little Pono away in the carrier, and I was crying, of course, to have to say goodbye to him. So I sat there for a few minutes, and the vet tech came back out to me. The waiting area is on a lanai. And he said that the doctor would like to speak with you for a few minutes. I thought, okay. So I went inside, and he came and he said, Pono is walking, you know.
Oh.
He's moving. He's up. I think you should give it a few days. I really think this cat, as a kitten, their bones can be almost rubbery, and they can bend more than just like us older people, us mature people. I don't bend like I did when I was 20, but anybody else. Anyway, so he said sequester him, which I did, feed him baby food, which I did. I gave him the little teeny cans of cat food that are practically liquid. He's eating them up. I'm sequestering him. All his buddies want the food, of course. So I'm watching the little kitty litter. All those functions are working. He's peeing, he's pooping, he's eating, he's happy. So this morning, yesterday afternoon, I let him out, and he's even playing. So I am lifting him up on the bed with me and sequestering him inside the house, and everyone else is out because they live on Lanai, they live outdoors. So this morning, he's even perkier. And I thought, oh, see, my faith was challenged. I needed to take a deep breath, slow down, and let the silver lining show. So here's to another lesson. Life lessons are everywhere, right? And I'm just so thrilled that little Pono is still part of my family.
That's a wonderful story. Thank you. I think we have time for one or two more. Anybody else have something they'd like to share? Okay, very good. We turn that off, I guess. Yeah, thank you. Let's see. I think we have time for another song. Sorry, did you get? I have a question for you. This came from one of our members. Could you talk a little bit about your instrument, what it's called, and maybe where it comes from?
Just kidding. Well, this is a harmonium, and actually they're originally from England. And my understanding is that the English brought them to India when they took over the country and were missionaries there. But everyone really knows them as Indian. And it's a pump, so this pumps, and then a keyboard at the same time. I love it because it brings me immediately into a meditative kind of vibe. Well, this is one of my favorite mantras, and it's something that we can chant anytime and every time that we feel the need to bring in health, peace, happiness, freedom, and as the moments go on this planet, that seems to be even more needed. So instead of feeling sad, you can just chant. And it's Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And it's pretty easy to pick up. And it's quite simple. It just means may all beings in all the worlds be happy, healthy, and free. And then in this song, I use happy, free, healthy, and peace. So just encouraging you, if you feel resonated with this mantra, to pick it up easily, write it down, and have it posted up on your fridge or wherever, and just chant it anytime you feel overwhelmed with the many things that can potentially overwhelm us that are happening, right about now.
That was lovely, thank you. Music has such a transcendent quality. It just kind of immediately brings you into a peaceful spot, so thank you for that. Okay, it's time for our guest presenter today. New Thought did have a minister at one point, and then in the 1980s, I believe it was, the minister decided, you know what, you all can minister yourselves. So from that point on, we have had guest presenters come and share their experience in life that has brought them to this point, on all kinds of different spiritual topics and different spiritual backgrounds. And today we are delighted to welcome Bibek Sharma. And I'll tell you a little bit about him and what he's going to talk about. The title of his presentation is Experiences and Learnings Living with the Master. His journey began in the Himalayan range of India, where he grew up in an environment that revered the divine and sought blessing through rituals and ceremonies. As an 8th grade student, he joined the Sri Satya Sai institutions run by Prashanti Balamandira Trust. I hope that's right. An organization inspired by the teachings of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba and committed to the ideals of love all, serve all. Through the unwavering support of the trust, Bibek received a full scholarship to pursue mechanical engineering, which then became the basis for him to pursue aviation. And he's now an helicopter pilot. Helicopter pilot, I love that. So even after the physical departure of Sri Satya Sai Baba in 2011, the trust education to serving underprivileged rural communities flourished, led by Sadhguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Living closely with Sadhguru and participating in the mission to uplift society, this has profoundly impacted Bibek. He considers it his true fortune to experience practical spirituality by living in the ashram for more than 12 years, learning the pearls of wisdom from Sadhguru. In gratitude for the opportunities he has received, Bibek aspires to contribute to the trust by extending the gift of education and livelihood to more underprivileged children, once as a helicopter pilot. Yeah. So welcome, Bibek.
Thank you so much.
We're looking forward to what you have to share with us. One thing we do before your presentation is we'll ask a question of our members here, all those in attendance, and we'll pass the mic. And if you want to say your name and answer the question. Do you have a question for us today, Bibek?
Yeah, it's a simple question. I'll tell it, and what it means to you, you can just tell in 2 words. So today's word is spirituality. So when I say spirituality, or when you just hear spirituality, what is it that it means to you in 2 words?
Why not just make it one? Okay.
One is good.
No, I'm kidding. Okay, that's the question. So 1 or 2 words, what does spirituality mean to you? I guess I'll kick us off. It's divine and it's heartfelt.
I'm Terry.
Oh, sorry, Terry. Hold on. There you go. Try again. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. The mic
Sorry.
was the mic on.
I'd say service. I'm Patty. That's kind of a big question. It just means getting out of your body self and connecting with the higher self.
Elisha Leorani. To me, it means to remember who I am in my core.
I'm Leah, and for me it means totally living from a place of love.
Is it Adam? Complete enlightenment for all beings.
Just love all.
Candy. Harmony.
Hi, my name is Lexi. Love and enlightenment.
Living awareness, Margie. Shoba, happiness.
Love, serve.
I'm Sally, and I don't think I can do it in 1 or 2 words.
Glenn, fishing.
Kim, gratitude and appreciation.
Good morning. My name is Reagan, and my 2 words today, I think I'll say connection and aloha.
I'm Jan. 2 words, higher self.
I'm Karen. This is kind of hard, but maybe everything underlying life.
I'm Ramira, and I think everything is everything. That's what spirituality is to me.
Good morning. I'm Pasha, and I'd say connecting to what is real.
My name's Lorene. I would say comfort and direction.
I missed the prompt.
Who's
in the restroom.
In 2 words, to describe what the word spirituality means to you.
Purpose and love.
Well, it's my turn.
We'll go to Palmer. We don't want to miss you.
Ms. Palmer, to me, it is the pathway to the divine.
Dorothy, did you want to share?
Yeah.
I said love, serve.
Thank you. Thank you all for sharing.
Thank you everyone for your all wonderful answers. My answer would be total selflessness is spirituality. Like when I hear it, that's what the prompt comes in. Okay, first, it's wonderful to see you all here. I've been seeing quite a lot of faces. I want to request every one of you to make sure that you sit in a position that you can see the TV, because a lot of references is going to be visual cues, right? So if everybody can see, it's very good. Okay, that was a long introduction for me. So yeah, I'm from the Himalayan ranges of India. First thing I want to do is I want to start talking about Sai Baba, the god that I was introduced to when I was young. My parents, so he is Sai Baba, and I'm from this place that a little pop-up in the northern part of India. It's called Sikkim. This place is famously known to be the land of peace. It's the only most organic state in the whole world at this point in time. And we have the world's 3rd largest peak called Kanchenjunga. Growing up with my family, which is just this, we always used to go to different places of spiritual value, you know. So that my father, mother, my 2 sisters, and me. That was like way back, I don't know. My sister happened to go to the main spiritual center of Sai Baba, where she pursued her education. She's my eldest sister, and then the elder sister was in the Sati Sai institutions again back in Sikkim. It was not the headquarters, but it was a Sati Sai institution. Seeing what transformation happened in them, like my sisters, and now they are amazing human beings in just matter of whatever small time. And then I was like, oh, if that can happen to them, it can happen to me. So I said, I want to join the Sai institutions. And that's how I joined the Sai institutions in Sikkim first. And then something happened. I'll tell you. So this is my home. It's not the greatest of homes, but it feels home when you go in. This is home. I was in my 7th grade studying in the Sati Sai institutions, and we had a period called as SUPW, socially useful productive work. SUPW. We as children used to call it some useful period wasted, because we had to do arts and crafts in the time we had to study, and we were like, what do you want us to make? So they said, okay, just make a paper bag. Actually, it's helpful, right? Because instead of using plastic, we make a paper bag. And that's how they used to teach different arts and crafts. And one fine day, it was a Saturday, it was June, and they said, okay, gather ice cream sticks. So we gathered ice cream sticks, and they said, let's make, pen holders. So they said, okay, let's make pen holders. So they taught us how to make pen holders. They made stars and circles and rectangles and triangles and different kinds of pen holders. And they said, okay, this is what you have done the classwork. Now let's do the homework. You go home and make sure that you do the project. So I was back home, okay? Went in, I was just watching some cartoon maybe at that point in time. Last time we had Jin and Wong who presented Looney Tunes and stuff. So yeah. I was watching some cartoon. My father comes. He was working in the law. He was working in the higher court, and then he came back flushed from office. He was watching the news, and I said, "Father, I need to buy some ice cream sticks." He said, "Okay." So he gave me some money. I took the money. So I'll show you the topography of my home so that I explain what is happening. So I come out of home and walk through those steps. Okay, if you see from this side of home, there is this building and there is that green building. It's the same green building. Can you see that? Okay. So a boy of 7th standard, 11 years old, just walks. Okay. So walk up the stairs, and from the grill of that green building, one person is shouting in a different language. So we speak Nepali. That person is shouting in Hindi. He's saying, "Wahan pe mat jao! Don't go there. There's a girl falling. Don't go there." And it's a pedestrian street. So I'm walking. The world is walking. So I said, "Is he talking to me?" And then I see that he's focused on me. And then he says, he's showing the finger and saying, "Don't go there, don't go there." So I look at where he is pointing the finger. And he is pointing the finger from this place. He's pointing the finger to this place. And what do I see then? There's a window. The window does not have grills. There is a girl who is holding the window pane, and outside, it's 2nd story from the top. Now, a small context here. Just beside my home is a spiritual center for, okay. So just beside my home is a spiritual center where we sing bhajans, like how we sang kirtan. We had small bhajans, small bhajan center. And her parents, her father was a dholak player, one of the percussionists, and her mother was a singer. Now I knew that family before, and I knew that the girl was autistic. She did not know, like we call Ama Baba, like father, mother. She would only say nya nya ma, so she could not talk. She was 7 years old. She could not talk. We knew that she had some problems, and she was adopted. And now I see that she's hanging outside. This man is shouting at me, and I'm a kid too. I'm just a small guy. I'm just walking by, and then I see these are all steps, and I see that the girl is slipping. Like one hand is slipping. She was holding, that itself was a great thing. But I thought her father is holding her. Maybe it's some kind of fun. I don't know. So I said, okay, let me go. And then this guy is shouting. There are people walking. And this guy shouting, this guy shouting. 2 steps, the girl is there, she falls. She falls from second story of the building. Now this happens in fraction of a second. I'll explain to you what happened, but imagine the rate of reaction time, 2 steps down, she falls, I jump, catch her, and then I fall back. I was on the ground. So when she fell, her leg was on my feet and her head was on my feet and her feet was on my head when I caught. And I was down. On the left side, where I fell down, was the steps, like how you see there. On the left side was a drainage system, open drainage system. And on the right side is what you see at my home's metal sheet, Yeah. So I was just down, people came around like everywhere else. People started looking. Suddenly from somewhere the father comes, picks the child up. He had huge muscles, picks the child up. He runs to the hospital. I'm just there. I'm still there. My eyes are open. And then I got up. I said, okay, I think I'm fine. I smiled at everyone. I went what I was supposed to do. I bought ice cream sticks, came back home. I was watching TV with my father. 15, 20, 30 minutes later, I guess, it was peak summer. I started shivering. There was a chill all around my body. My father is like, what happened to you? I said, Father, there was a girl who fell down and I helped her. What he thought was, there was a girl, she fell down and I helped her. That's what he thought. I said, okay. I didn't want to explain or something, it was not a great deal in my head. So I said, okay, fine. And then I started shivering more. And then he said, okay, you go take rest or do your project, something he said. And then I started. My father used to walk in the evening at that locality. And he was a very respected man. Like every morning, people would wake up because of his conch blowing. He used to, we used to call bhajan ke bina bhojan nahi. Without prayers, there's no food. So that was the policy for our home. So morning, the day would start at 4. My mother would do her prayers till 5. At 5, father would wake up. He would do his prayers till 6. So the world around us woke up when we did prayers. Like it was that kind of a situation. Anyway, so my father was very respected man. He started walking. And people were like gathering around him and saying, Mr. Sharma, I'm Bibek Sharma. So he was like, Mr. Sharma, do you know what happened? Your son, he did this. My father said, yeah, he told me. Because he's still thinking that. And then one Tibetan lady, thanks to her, she said, no, Mr. Sharma, you don't understand. I'll take you. So she took him to the place and showed the whole thing, narrated the whole story. And then my father realized what has happened. Then he came back home. He checked my arms and it was bluish because of the impact. My legs were bluish. Then he said, Sikkim is a cold place, so we don't have a fridge or refrigerator, So we had to go to a place to find ice, went, bought ice, did some treatment and all that. Now, the guy who was shouting, he was a recently appointed block development officer. So he told to the local news channel that, you know what, there is an act of bravery that has happened here. And you need to note that. Okay. The local news channel told it to the national news channel. And national news channel were like, oh, in the second smallest state of Sikkim, this is what has happened. An act of bravery. Okay. That goes to the body called as Indian Council for Child Welfare, and they recognized 23 children that year to get the National Bravery Award. And yeah, so that's what they had written, that Bibek Sharma, 11-year-old boy from Sikkim, saved the life of a 7-year-old girl who was falling from second floor of a building. Both fell down and they went to the hospital. So this happened. And I was awarded with the National Bravery Award by the then Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. And later, a team comes to verify like what exactly happened. So when they came and verified the location, the timing, what my age was, they saw the drain, they saw the tin sheet on both left and right, and they said, you've saved a life, but you have risked your life to save someone else's life. So this has to get a higher recognition. So they gave something called as Jeevan Raksha Padak, that is Life Savior Award, and that's given by the President of India. And that is what I was given to. Now, this till here is what the world knows. This is truth, but this is one part of the truth. There is why it happened. Like there are a few questions, right? The pedestrian street where people were. Why was that guy shouting to me? Why was it that I was there to catch up? That there were more able people than me. I was just a seventh standard kid. There were more people who were able to help more than me. But why me? This is where Sai Baba comes into picture. You know, there is air everywhere we breathe, but then just to feel it, when we close our ears, either we need the sound or we need the feel of it, and we call that breeze. Though it's the same air, but we need it in more intensity to feel it. The same way, the Lord, my master, I call him Swami. Swami translates to master. So Sai Baba, who I call Swami, Swami decided to show himself in million ways than one. I told you that was a Saturday, and there was this community where we used to do bhajans. Every Saturday they used to go to different places. Like example, if this is a community, this Saturday bhajan happens in my house. Next it happens in your house, in your house, in your house. Every Saturday. It's called rotation bhajans. And as I mentioned, her mother, the child's mother, was a singer. So on that day, in front of the altar of Sai Baba, when the incident happened, the same time when she was holding, the fact that she was holding an autistic child holding outside a window, that itself was great. So, when she was holding, there was bhajan going on at this place, and her mother was singing the bhajan. The bhajan goes, Guru Deva, Priya Deva, Sai Deva, Dayamaya. Guru Deva, Priya Deva, Sai Deva, Dayamaya. And that translates to Guru Deva, oh dear master. Priya Deva, oh beloved master. Sai Deva, oh dear Sai. Dayamaya, show your compassion to me. She did not know why she was singing, but she was. And here, another thing. I was studying in Satya Sai institution. The girl's name was Sai Priya, which translates to the beloved of Sai. Mother was singing a Sai bhajan. We were in front of a Sai community, and the Sai just blew me away. Like, whoa! This is Sai showing himself. The master wanted me to be with him all the way 3,000 miles down. That's why he chose me, because my father and mother, they had this idea that when they grew up, they had a lot of challenges in their lives. So they wanted to make sure that their children do not suffer. So they always taught us one thing. They said, always prioritize respect, and that respect has to be gained through value system. To all of you, my friends and family, values are something we live by or die for. And love is the value that Sai Baba taught us. Coming to the story. So this is what happened, and this is how Sai Baba kind of put me in place, made sure that so with this, respect was gained. My name was kind of famous, so my father was ready now to let go of me. You know what I'm saying? Because in India, families stay together, and it's very difficult. That too, the only son. It's very difficult to let go. But this was the incident that made my parents proud of me, and they were like, "Do whatever your master wants you to do." Second phase of my life. So from all the way north, I came down the south to a place called Karnataka. This is where the main headquarters of Sai Baba was. I'm going to show you a clip of the ashram that I live in right now. It was not like this for sure. It was just red mud and no buildings. new addition to the frame. Who's he? Okay, I have something to show you. I am feeling thirsty. And I quenched my thirst, right? I'm still feeling thirsty. And I'm still gonna drink. What quenched my thirst?
The water or the cup?
The water or the cup? What quenched my thirst?
The water. But the cup was necessary.
When love came to world in this form, he was called Sai Baba. When love came to the world, when I say came, it means manifested, came to the world in this form, he is called Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. The same master, basically. So he is my Swami. Swami, as I told you, translates to master. So he is my master. You can call him Sai Baba, you can call him Sri Madhusudan Sai, it doesn't matter because love is the same. She was singing about Amma. Amma is a master too. It's the same love manifesting as Amma. So she is my master too. But at this point in time, because we are supposed to work towards a certain direction, so he is my master, Sadguru Sri Madhusudan Sai. Okay, what does he say? He says, my master, which means Sati Sai Baba, has tasked me with the work and invested his time and trust in me. And all I can say is that I'll work for the very end. And that translates to my life too. And I am going to work to the very end because Sai mission is my mission. And what is Sai mission? It's what you saw till now. Love all, serve all. Help ever, hurt never, because we are one world, one family. About one world, one family, a small video again.
धन सर्वन मगे दीने सद्गुरु तनु मन धन सर्वन मगे दीने सद्गुरु ममतेय प्रेम तन्मय तिरुहेया निन्नय प्रेम मर्मव इहकु परकु यमगे नीने यल्लवु तनु मन धन सर्वन मगे नीने सद्गुरु तनु मन धन सर्वन मगे नीने सद्गुरु.
Okay, so bees need not be told where the flower is, where the nectar is. Neither the ants need to be told where sweet is. They just appear because they know where it is. Same way, when we are around Swami, it's just love. So we just want to rush around him. As you saw, we want to give letters to him, flowers to him. We want to just be around him. And with that power of love, what it does is he makes sure that people who have not experienced it. See, for when I say spirituality, we said all our answers, right? But imagine the same question was asked to a person who is hungry. For him, spirituality or God is food. For a person who is sick, for that person, God comes in the form of health. The person who is illiterate, he is not able to make two ends meet. For him, God is education. So in that way, so that the people, the last person on earth can experience what love is, these basic amenities have to be met. And that is what our focus is right now. Why am I being a helicopter pilot? We have educational institutions in India, so rural that there were no roads until our institutions were established. But just because it is free service, is it poor quality? Just because it's being given to the poor, is it poor quality? No, you saw the ashram, and the whole of ashram is completely free of charge. My education is completely free of charge. Okay, so 8th standard in Sikkim, 7th standard in Sikkim, came to 8th standard down south, as I told you till now. In my 11th grade, that is when, we are supposed to choose a stream, either science, commerce, or arts, and then we go forward with whatever we are supposed to do. I was like, I don't want to study. I am more interested in things like hypnotherapy, healing, and stuff. So I said, I am not going to study. So I convinced my parents somehow, and there comes Swami. He said, choose science. I said, Swami, I don't want to study. He said, science. Yes, Swami, done. So I chose science, and then in 11th grade, I was supposed to do exams. Exams were supposed to happen in March. In January, we have something called as Annual Culture and Sports Meet. So Swami told me, I mean, out of so many students, he selected me for flying when I was in 11th grade. We flew something called as paramotors. And this is me flying in the ashram. I was one of the first persons to fly in the ashram, of course. I'll show you what sports meet looks like, and then you'll know why it's important. Yeah, so this was sports meet, and all these are rural children, and everyone, whatever you saw, everything was taught, expressed, and done absolutely free of cost. So this, when a child who has not seen any of it is given exposure in this way, one thing that he gets is called confidence, and with confidence, one can lead life however one wants. So with this, he told me, okay, you participate in paramotors. I had exams coming in. March was exam, and this was around December. Not just that, there was drama, like theaters. So he told me, you also be in the theaters. That's me in one of those dramas. And a small clip.
Realization and also serve the humanity.
Excellence in action is yoga. Nay, perfection in action is yoga. I am the boundless enthusiasm with relentless pursuit for perfection within you.
Yeah, so with all this, I was supposed to study, and I was like, I don't know how to do it. So in one of these sessions where he used to guide us like this, Sadhguru is sitting here, Swami is sitting here, and he was guiding us for the drama. I had this thought in my head like, you are telling to do all this, but what about my exams? So this is true. He looked at me right in my eyes. He said, you take care of my drama and I'll take care of your exams. Needless to say, my 11th and 12th grade, the same thing repeated. I was in paramotors, I was in drama. He used to just tell, okay, yeah, you can go to drama, you can do paramotors. And exams with it. And 11th and 12th grade, I scored 90+%. It's not to my credit because I did not study. Where was the time to study? I was also all the time doing dramas. And then after your 12th, we are supposed to choose a stream, But as I told you, I didn't want to study. So I said, maybe I'll not study. I'll go into hypnotherapy or something again. But he's like, you do engineering. I said, Swami, for that I have to study. Like I have to write exams, entrance exam. He said, engineering. I said, yes, Swami, fine, okay. And then I wrote exams, like multiple exams, and I got seats in like very prestigious colleges in India. Like how you have NASA here, we have ISRO back in India. There were seats that was backed up by even ISRO. Like I got those seats and my parents were very proud. They were like, oh, you have done it and all that. So I'll show you one of the stories. This is the mail from Jain University, supposed to be very famous, that I got the seat and all that. To tell you the story of Jain University, now everyone who sees this thinks that like I'm the brilliant guy who cracked the exam and got the seat. The truth is, I went to the examination hall. All the exams that I had written previously were for 2 hours. This was for 2.5 hours, like 150 questions, 150 minutes. And you had the OMR sheet where you need to kind of round and round and round. So I went to the exam hall. I was sitting. I did whatever I had to do. There were 5 categories, 5 3s or 15. I think 30 questions of each. I kept doing whatever I had to do. But in my mind, because of my previous experiences, I thought, oh, it's only for 2 hours. And there was last 15 minutes remaining, and I had not yet finished my physics paper and my maths paper. And I was like, how do I do it? So what I did something called as Taraka Mantra. Taraka Mantra is the mantra for liberation. So I kept my question paper aside. I took my OMR sheet and I said, Taraka Mantra, Om Shri Sai Ram, Om, SH, with all different combinations, whatever, permutation and combination, without seeing the question paper, I just ticked in my answer sheet. You have the results with you. I don't know how this happened. So I went to Swami and I thought, he'll be happy seeing all this. I showed it to him. And, but I know the truth, right? Nobody knows this truth. Om Shri Sai Ram truth, nobody else knows, but I know. So I went, I said, Swami, but their ego kind of creeps in. So I said, Swami, see, I have got this. He looked at me, he said, and of course, so if I had to go to this university, then I had to come out of ashram and go somewhere else, right? He said, you stay with me in the ashram and go to a college nearby. So it will be like you're at home, you go to college and you again come back. So ashram is the home. So that's what will happen. And then I had to convince this to my parents. So I told my parents, you know what, I'll stay in the ashram. They're like, why? You've got so many seats. Why will you just give it, why will you waste it? I said, someday later in life, I'll tell you. But at this point, just allow me to do. See, I have done all this while whatever Swami has told me to do, and it's just going fine. Let me just follow Swami. Just let me follow my master, my guru. So they, with whatever reluctance, they said, okay, it's fine. So they agreed. And when I joined the college, he gave me my commandments. He said, I don't care. So Swami is saying this. He said, I don't care so much about marks, but do not get any remarks, because I represent an ashram, so I should not. I said, okay. In the same sentence, with the same breath, he says, but don't get below second rank, which translates to either first or second. So if I don't study, and if he doesn't care about marks, how will I get above second rank? I'm like, yes, Swami, because I could not say no. I said, okay. And it was only later in life that he told me, engineering is just a jolly ride. You're going to be my pilot. That's what he told me. Engineering is just a jolly ride. Get first or second rank, and I don't care about marks. Who says this? Anyway, with all this, and with multiple activities happening in the ashram, I kept studying and whatever I tried doing. And again, when I was in engineering, even then I was doing all these dramas and theaters, And I so happened that I got the university gold medal in mechanical engineering. The trust had sponsored the whole thing. And out of everyone where women empowerment is seen, I was the only guy having the gold medal, and they were like, did you get the gold medal or it was given to you? I said, see, technically I got it, but someone else is working through, so I don't know. So that's the story. And after this, after getting a gold medal, which he told to do, when I went and actually showed it to him, he said, he looked at the certificate which said, university gold and all that, and then he saw the gold medal, and then he said, what will you do with gold medal? Get a gold in life. And that struck me. Like, what do you want me to do, Swami? I'll do whatever you tell me to do. And this is what I do. We are smiling because he's like, what will you do with the gold? I said, you told to get it. Okay. And after this was in 2020 when COVID was just around, and the whole world was shut down and things were like that. And after this, I had some beautiful time with Swami where I spent some time, and then after that he told me, you go and work in the administrative department of our ashram. So now I'm also going to show you some impact of what all has happened through the ashram all around the world. This is some of the pictures with Sadhguru that I have had. Yeah, this is nice time. So when I was working in the administration, setting up stage for like world-class players from different parts of the globe, or be it performing myself sometimes, singing bhajans or whatever, including arranging things for the president when president come to visit us. This is president with a lot of them are first generation literates. And imagine an institution that takes rural children, gives them education all through, and gives them the certificate by the president of the country for no cost at all. Imagine the amount of self confidence and empowerment, the feeling of empowerment that the child has. And all of these children, or all of them, they're my batchmates by the way, all of these people have decided to dedicate their lives to help some more rural children get the benefit. And also, when the Prime Minister of the country was around, so I had been given those passes, only a few people get those passes to kind of organize all this. Let's talk about the impact that has happened till now through just love. I mean, I don't know how to put it more simply, it's just love manifest. Service is love manifest in doing. So in 2011, when I joined the institution, we only had 1,000 students with 2 campuses. In 10 years, we have 5,000 students with 26 campuses. And so all these places, this is in Karnataka, in India, but not just here, in different states and also in different places like Fiji, Mississippi, or wherever. We have our ashrams and center helping people who are in need. And this happens in record time. This is a hospital, it's a multi-speciality hospital. And when COVID hit, Swami was chilled. He was like, oh, okay, the construction is happening, let it happen. And suddenly one day he calls all of us, he said, I want it inaugurated very soon. He said, Swami, COVID is going on. He said, that's fine. This was the second hit of COVID. It would not have bothered him, but because second wave of COVID kind of was impacting children more than everyone else, he said this hospital, which had around 300 beds, he said, get all of it oxygenated. What if one child wants us and we are not available? So I'll show you the transformation that has happened in this hospital and you'll be shocked for sure. Look at it. This is recorded. On 19th July, look at how it was, and 24th July, and the day of inauguration, how it is. These things are just not humanly possible because I was there, right? I was there doing the whole thing. So because I was in the administration, I was supposed to also ensure that things are happening properly everywhere. So I used to go for rounds and click pictures and tell whichever department had to work. They are working day and night. There are rain splashing. The whole place is muddy. It's filled with filth. And the chief minister is going to come in 2 days. The things are not ready. And we said, Swami, it's not ready yet. He said, don't worry. Rains became drizzle, though the forecast was something else. The rains became drizzle. The drizzle became sun. We inaugurated. And right now it's serving millions of people right now. And then we inaugurated, even the same story with this. This is the world's first totally free medical college. Even this, when the Prime Minister came to inaugurate this, whatever you see green was filled with slush. It was just rains and rains and rains. So Swami was also not there in India that time. He was somewhere in the United States. So we prayed to Swami, saying, Swami, there is forecast of rains and we don't know if when Prime Minister comes, will it be ready? He called up one student. And Swami said to him, he's a friend of mine, he said, you pray. That's all he said. And that guy actually prayed. You can check the forecast of that day. There was no rains. No rains. And then we got this inaugurated. The Prime Minister was there. We got that. Okay, so finally, I want to show you what impact it has happened in the whole world as such. So in 2011, we had one spiritual center. When I say spiritual center, it means medical, educational, or nutritional center. And in 10 years, we have 30 plus centers across the whole world. And just to tell you the impact in the Asia Pacific, like in Fiji Islands, like here how difficult it is to get medical care, right? Because it's an island. Imagine the same thing in Fiji. Here at least people can afford, there people cannot even afford. And people have something called as congenital heart disease. That's a poor man's disease because when mother is carrying a child, she does not get enough nutrition and the child has to suffer that. So it's a generational thing that keeps going on. And how do you tackle that? So we inaugurated and started a hospital in Fiji. Maybe I'll just show you a small clip of that.
There are some children who have holes in their hearts. They're born this way, we need to help them. And all these children cannot run or play. Some will lose lives, we need to prevent that. All these children are falling down, and we can help pick them up again. And all their families are crying for help, and we will help pick them up again. They will survive. Ooh, they will thrive. Ooh, because every child deserves the gift of life. Because every child deserves the gift of life. What they need is a surgery, so they can live a life like you and me. We can help them seal this hole. Just take a stand so they're not alone. Take a stand. Save a life. They will survive. Ooh, they will thrive. Ooh, because every child deserves the gift of life.
Okay, I'm pausing for the positive time. Yeah, so, and all of this is completely free of cost because let's hear what Swami wants to say.
When I go around the world, they ask, how is it all possible? All this you're doing, you don't take any money from anyone, you don't charge a fee. How are you running super specialty hospitals, colleges, universities, schools, Annapurna, breakfast, all these services? Who does it? How do you do it? I say, I do not do anything. I just love, and love does everything. Because love is my power, and whoever has that love for all, they have that power of God with them. They can achieve anything if they set their mind to achieving that. As long as we are capable of loving purely and selflessly, no force on this earth can come in our way. This will simply grow and grow and grow to embrace and encompass more and more people, because that is the power of love. It's not religion, it's not sorcery, it's not some magic. It is pure love at work, and that is why it will keep happening.
And just to give you one small last insight, even amidst us, we have people who are working. Even now, Tony is back in Mississippi. She is delivering food to people who need it every day. She is not here. She can be here in Hawaii just relaxing and doing things, right? But no, there are people working hard, and that's why it keeps happening. And all is because we want to love all and serve all, because we are one world, one family. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story, Bibek. It's very inspiring for all of us, I'm sure, and the wonderful, tremendous work you're doing. And just a reminder of what love can do. That love is the essence of everything, and just how powerful it is. So thank you very much for a beautiful presentation as well. And on that note, we will pass our koa bowl before. Any way you can support New Thought Foundation and New Thought Center here, whether it's financially or through your thoughts and prayers, any support is appreciated. Ready? Oh. Thank you again, Darby. Thank you again, Darby. Okay, so we're coming to the conclusion of our service, but not without a few announcements first about what's coming up, what we have going on here. Of course, each Sunday at 10 o'clock, we're here for service. Next week is a very special occasion. It's New Thoughts. We're celebrating New Thoughts' 53rd birthday here. So I wonder if Pasha, you could come up and tell us a little bit about what that special day is going to entail.
Well, first I wanted to talk a little bit what we're celebrating, what actually happened 53 years ago, kind of how our center began. Now, I wasn't there, but I joined about 6 years after this event. So, when I first started coming, most of the other people were, they remembered this event, which really probably didn't seem very significant at the time. It mainly involved signing papers. It was like the young incipient church called Religious Science Church of Hawaii was incorporated. So it meant that we became real to the state of Hawaii. And it went through, since that time, that was, the papers were dated September 22nd, 1971. Since that time, it's been through 2 or 3 name changes and several changes of location. We've been quite stable in as far as location since late 1999. We celebrated the new millennium here at Pualani Terrace. But before that time, we went through some changes where we were meeting like above a laundromat or in a bank meeting room or various, it was sort of an itinerant center for a while. But just, it's kind of extraordinary that a spiritual center like ours, which you wouldn't exactly call organized religion, has actually remained and evolved and been in service for more than a half century. And just to give you a little context, what it was like back there at the time of those papers were signed, it was 2 years after Neil Armstrong became the first human being to set foot on the moon. It was 12 years after Hawaii became the 50th state in the United States. The population of the Big Island was just under 64,000. And in 1971, a person had to drive to Hilo to see a traffic signal. Kainaliu was the commercial center of Kona, while Kailua was mainly a fishing village. And on Oahu, a little boy named Barak had just celebrated his 10th birthday. Now, 2 of the people who were among the founders of that root church from which New Thought grew are still alive and well and live in Kona. And they're in that picture if you want to take a look after service. We had an event called the Council of Elders in, I think it was around 2005 or so. And I'm in it with lots of dark hair. Pomekai's in the picture, Lorraine's in the picture, but the people wearing the white Makala crown flower leis, those are the 3 founders. And one of them, Annie Naba, passed away a couple of years ago, but the other 2 are still in this world. And I feel so grateful to both of them. At this point, they both attend Unity Church. It's Virginia Halliday and Mamie Bramlett, but they have aloha for New Thought, and they come occasionally. If I would have invited them sooner, they probably would have come next week, but I don't know if they could get free of their Unity responsibilities on short notice. But when you join New Thought, many people have to overcome the feeling of, I'm not a joiner. You know, I like to keep my independence. And but if you can get past that, you know that you're in good company, that most of the rest of us went through that too. And it's, in a certain way, nothing changes. There's no dues to pay. There's no attendance requirement. So it's really more a change of consciousness than anything else. Just feeling a closer connection to this community, and to help sweeten it a little bit. If you sign the paper, the papers are on the small table next to the orchid. If you sign the paper and you actually can come next week, you will be honored with a lei and an impressive certificate. So, and I was kind of worried, how are we going to do the cake with Liza, living on the mainland, Liza Brown's been our primary baker for a long time. But lo and behold, Joe Scarola, who's going to be one of the new members honored, he has great experience. I did notice he's brought some amazing things to our potlucks over the last few months, and he's agreed to bake the birthday cake. So after next week's service, we'll have birthday cake and some sorbet, so that if people are vegan, you know, there'll be at least something that they can enjoy with good conscience. So that's about our birthday.
Right.
There'll still be a service at the regular time. We might possibly finish early, but maybe not. So we'll see. But at any rate, it ends with it ends with cake and sherbet.
Okay. All right. That's great. So come for the cake, if nothing else. All right. Just a couple of other few announcements about things that are coming up the week after. On the 15th, we have Heidi Tejana presenting. She will be presenting on the consciousness of the dolphins and whales, assisting humanity in remembering the truth of who we are, music by Colin Yost. A reminder that we have a weekly Tai Chi Qigong class, and that's taught by Jayden Wong, Mondays 4:30 to 5:30. Monthly, we have, first Sunday, we have our produce giveaway, so I do see a little produce over there. Help yourself. Let's see, we have the second Sunday of the month, the Crystal Ball meditation. The next one will be on the September 8th, and that takes place before service, 9 to 9:30. We also have our end of the month, the last Sunday, a potluck, so which is always fun. You never know. Last time, everybody seemed to bring salad, so it's kind of a serendipitous thing, whatever you feel like bringing, or just come and enjoy. Special events coming up September 7th. Marian Mann has her Love Continuum series in the Honolulu room. Ask about Kama Aina rates. September 8th, again, the welcome ceremony and also the birthday celebration. October 13th is a workshop with Sheila Galen on self-hypnosis. Again, it's Kama Aina rates. So, and all these events are on our website at newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. Let's see. And yeah, you can also get on our mailing list at that website if you're not already on it. Also, you mentioned we have a library committee now. And so we've been going through, I don't know how many of you know that we actually have a library here. But if you go inside the office door here, there's a couple of shelves and you can sign up for. There's also CDs, DVDs. Help yourself, sign them out. And also there's some free books that we kind of called, because we kind of don't have enough room now. So there's some free books on the table here to help yourself if you so wish. And I think that concludes it for today. Anybody else have an announcement?
Lunch?
Oh, lunch, yes, of course. Traditionally, we take our presenter out to lunch, and we're going to go right up here to the Chinese restaurant, probably about 12 o'clock. Anybody care to join? I'll take a count of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Assuming you're coming. So, was that 7 or 8? I think that was 7. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so about 10. Terrific. Okay, everybody, we will now stand up, join hands, and sing our Aloha Hawaii song.
Aloha, Aloha.